Welcome to Pod Crawlers. I'm Erik, back at you with a solo episode. This time around, I'm going to talk about the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford and a Man-Thing. What a combo. I'm going to kick things off with the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Why would I talk about a movie on this show that had some mainstream press and acclaim? Because in a few years, no one will remember this movie. I know I won't. This long account of the last days of Jesse James is well made and well-meaning. However, the only actor who seemed to care is Casey Affleck as Ford. Brad Pitt as James seemed to be just in a movie for the sake of being in a movie. Sam Shepard as Frank James is only in it for a few minutes, unfortunately. Now, this movie is way too long. It's 2 hours and 60 minutes. 2 hours and 60 minutes that could have been edited into less than 2. Now, the most interesting parts in this movie are the first half and the last hour. And again, for me, the mark of death for a movie is for it to be boring and too long. Some good things about the movie. I like the pseudo-documentary touch. There's a narrator who chimes in with facts throughout the movie, but sometimes it's pointless as he just described what we just saw or figured out. And I began to like this movie, but soon got bored with it. I don't recommend it. However, I do recommend The Last Days of Frank and Jesse James, starring Johnny Cash and Chris Christopherson, for a quicker ride. Man-Thing. Now, this is supposedly based on the Marvel Comics character, and I'm not up on the history of the character, but what I do know is that this movie isn't all that faithful. And this movie isn't all that great. The gist of the movie is, evil oil man on tribal swampland. Trust me, you know the rest. Now, you could substitute any monster for Man-Thing and it wouldn't make a difference. The acting and cinematography make this movie look like a real theatrical movie, but the subject matter is old hat. Now, like I said before, I'm not that familiar with the subject material, so I can't comment on how it compares to this adaptation. I can safely say that Man-Thing isn't good and isn't recommendable, not even for a laugh. Thanks for joining me. I'm Erik, and this has been Pod Crawlers.